The polling data has consistently showed us that if Donald Trump gets a criminal conviction in any of the 4 criminal trials that he has somewhere on his agenda at this point, a single criminal conviction will cost him enough support in 7 swing states to where Biden wins those states and therefore cruises to a very easy electoral victory. That leads me to another question from one of our viewers. This is from VMan29397. Hey, Farron, you keep on talking about how if Trump is indicted, that Biden wins in a landslide. I'm curious, how big of a landslide are we talking about? Well, the exact numbers with the Electoral College, I do not know. But here's what we do know. As I said, there's 7 swing states right now. You've got Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Nevada, Arizona. Those states, and I'm missing one too, sorry. But anyway, those states are just a handful of the ones where if the election were held today, according to the polls, Trump would likely win. But those same states, those same voters, those same people polled say if Trump's a convicted felon, I'm voting for Biden. So the polls swing by 5 to 6 points per state. And Biden wins well outside of the margin of error. So if Biden wins all those states, obviously he gets those slates of electors and he wins. It's over. It's done. You know, we can go to bed by 9 p.m. on election night because Biden will have already secured enough Electoral College votes to have re-election. That is, of course, dependent upon 2 things. One, will Trump be convicted by then? Well, thanks to the ruling this past Thursday, we have a criminal trial that is now on the schedule, jury selection ready to begin on March 25th. Assuming that date doesn't change, that trial, those 34 counts he's facing in New York for falsifying business records related to the Stormy Daniels hush money payment, we'll get a verdict on that before the Republican nominating convention in late July. So that is dependent. Like, do we get a conviction or do we get an acquittal? If he gets acquitted in that, I think he wins, to be honest with you. Because then you're going to have a lot of moderates who are watching this and like, oh, he didn't do it? Okay, then yeah, all of these charges against him are drummed up. I'm going for him because this is total BS. The likelihood of him not getting convicted on 34 different felony counts is like 2%. And I just made that number up. It's probably like 1%. Maybe it's like 0.5%. I think he's going to be convicted on at least one of those counts. I think that much is pretty obvious. But if he gets the conviction, that's step 1. Step 2 is how many of those voters in these polls stay true to their word. See, that's the X factor because we don't know. Do I think it would actually be the 5 to 7 to 8 maybe percent of people who suddenly won't vote for him with a conviction? Absolutely not. You're not going to have that many people who say, well, then I'm done. No, it ain't going to happen. But 2 to 3% actually keeping their word, that's believable. That's doable. So I still think Biden comes out ahead in most of those swing states. So he would still win enough, maybe not win all of them, but still win enough to where he gets that electoral landslide. But again, it all comes down to voters keeping their word. And that is honestly more questionable than Donald Trump getting convicted. Like, I firmly believe he's going to be convicted of something in one of these trials. And I have more faith in that than I do in voters doing what they say they're going to do.